Everyone, I have reason to believe that 21 years ago, a 21-year time frame started November 8th, 2005, and incredibly, this news show was available on YouTube that aired November 8th, 2005, and I believe that a 21-year period began that day. So it was incredible to find in the first place. Daniel 10:13, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, signifying instead of 21 days, 21 years. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. So in other words, kind of a time frame like Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah 36 and 7. So when I was looking at this video, a Sabrina Coltey was shot in the hip, incredibly. So we know that Jacob was purposely injured in the hip, and he would have a limp, which is both literal and figurative. What I'm getting at is that Sabrina Coltey shot that day in the hip, November 8th, 2005, represents figurative Jacob today and potentially 21 years starting back then, November 8th, 2005. This is credible. And also, you know, the scripture that speaks of Jesus saying, go get me that colt, the one that has not been ridden yet, or the foal that has not been ridden yet, and I have need of it. So Sabrina means at the river's edge, and colty would be like with a colt, or his colt.
Again, we welcome all of those troops back home, and we thank them at the bottom of our hearts for a great job over there in Iraq.
Well, 19-year-old Sabrina Coltey is still recovering tonight from a stray bullet that was fired from the gun of a 16-year-old boy. It turns out that this shooting incident was a strange quirk of fate. There was gunfire going on nearby, and suddenly a young girl who had absolutely nothing to do with it was struck by a stray bullet. She was rushed to the hospital. Her mother was informed, and what was her first response? God is with her. She will survive. And that's where we pick up the incredible story. Our Allison Hunt joins us live after talking with the Coltey family today. Allison?
Good evening, Leanne. The Coltey family is very happy and relieved to know that Sabrina will be all right, and thankful that the bullet only did the damage that it did. It's the sound of gunshots, now the sound of dogs barking on the corner where May Coltey held her wounded 19-year-old daughter Sunday afternoon.
Just ran, and I got to her, and blood was coming out of her real bad, and I hollered for my son to run and get some towels, and I sit there and I held on and tried to apply pressure to the bleeding until the medics got there.
One of the 6 shots fired from down the street hit Sabrina Coltey in the hip.
They shot from right where the van is, or the sign. They shot from right there, and the bullet made it down this far.
Sabrina Coltey was standing on this sidewalk talking with some friends when she heard gunshots. She turned around, and that's when she was shot.
She was talking to her friends and my sister in the window.
Then what?
Then shots went off.
Coltey was taken to CAMC General, where she is listed in satisfactory condition. She's using a walker and could be released tonight. Now, at this time, Sabrina Coltey is still in the hospital and listed in satisfactory condition.
So isn't that incredible that I was able to find this video on YouTube at all, that originally aired November 8th, 2005, suspecting that 21 years, a 21-year time frame could have begun on that day. I have various reasons for believing this. Paradise, California burned, 90% of it burned November 8th, 2018, which will be 8 years ago come November 8th in 2026. I happen to believe that the elect bride of Christ could be glorified on the third day of darkness this year in 2026, come November 8th. Friday, November 6th, is when events could occur, meaning the day of the Lord and potentially the first day of darkness. And what it'll look like exactly, I'm not sure. The grid going down, a stock market crash, literal darkness of some kind, which also refers to Revelation 8:1 and Isaiah 60. And the Wheel of Time ends Monday, according to Diana Olivieri, a Monday, not knowing the month or year. But Monday would be 11/9/2026, and I believe when the lights come back on, so to speak, after 3 days of darkness, wherein Revelation 3:10 begins the hour of temptation, which by revelation will last 100 days, and then a rapture should occur, I believe even on Valentine's Day, 2027. Look in the description box for more on Jacob, figurative Jacob today. Figurative Jacob today is like Truman in the Truman Show, and very few were called to be Jacob and go from wicked to wise. Otherwise, there's a great falling away. But if you can go from wicked to a wise virgin, you can be a ransom for the righteous. See Proverbs 21:18 and 18:21, and I'll put some more information about figurative Jacob today in the description box. God bless everyone. Jesus is coming soon.